preparation for palming, I move my arms in rotating motion in both directions, in both ways, and I put my hands very gently around my eye orbits and palm. Never less than 6 minutes at a time, for we learned that it takes 6 minutes for the eyes to really relax and for the optic nerve to relax. I want to show you how we partner in our class. Come, have a seat here. This is my assistant for tomorrow. You can put the palming stick. Put your hands here. Of course, for the purpose of taking a picture of it, we're standing in the sun, but normally we sit in a darker room to have palming. So what we do is we massage people's shoulders while they're palming. In the meantime, you breathe deeply. You feel that your abdomen expands when you breathe in and shrinks when you breathe out. You visualize you see darkness, maybe even blackness, and you completely relax your optic nerve. There's such a big difference between palming and sleep in that the electricity of the hands really relax the eyes. Yeah, so I can massage her, have a sense of any tightness in her shoulders that can make it difficult for her to relax while she's palming. We use a palming stick that elevates her elbow exactly in the right way. And we custom individualize each person to the exact way that works for them. Hi, this is Meir. Just yesterday, I brought you a very important message of paying attention to the rest of your senses, of how much the visual sense dominates, and what an amount of pressure it is on the visual system. It has to do with the kind of life that we live these days, where most of our data and information comes visually. We read, we tweet, we look at Facebook. And it's so important for us to take care of the visual sense. That's exactly what we're doing tomorrow in this place. We're looking at the distance a lot, and I want you all to do that exercise, to look at the distance, wave your hands to the side, and I can tell you there's no better place than our place for that, especially this nice, warm days. If you're in the Bay Area, escape from the heat and come to a place which is hot but a bit less hot, which is right by the ocean. I could tell you that with more confidence 2 or 3 days ago when we were covered with fog, but now we don't have the fog, but we might be 10 degrees cooler than inland, or even more. What I want to talk about today is the attention we should give to ourselves. I don't know how many of you read my book, Movement for Self-Healing, but a big portion of the first chapter is describing my grandmother's love to me. My parents were deaf, and my grandmother took me to many, many hospitals and was with me in all my situations. And her love felt to me like an infinite love. I kind of feel like the universe is the one that got this wonderful person to connect between me and the amazing librarian that have shown me the way to get out of my blindness. The librarian and a kid who was a high school kid, eventually a dropout high school kid, have shown me the Bates method in combination with movement. And my world began.
My teacher was very, very much against classes. She thought that everyone should learn things individually and that in class there's a lot of competition. I took it to heart. So in my classes, there are no competition. I've seen classes that have competitions in them where everybody wants to do better than his or her neighbor. Our classes work on paying attention to everyone's special needs and working together. I even did this in the biggest class I had last year in Germany, in the Black Forest, which was one of my best classes ever, when I had 75 people, not for every day, but for all days put together. Perhaps I had only 27 people who registered for all 6 days. And I can tell you that from those 27, 24 ended up seeing way better. But most of the people registered for 4 or 5 days and could only take time off of work as much as they could. I had one wonderful guy who was unemployed, just lost his job. So on top of being with me in Germany, and he was a wonderful person and very intelligent, he went with me to the Czech Republic for a 2-day workshop there and to the 6-day workshop I gave in Portugal after that. But that big class was very, very good class. People were supportive of each other in a big way. And wonderful results came from that class, including the wonderful baby who was nearly an infant when I met her first after cataract surgeries and started to improve her vision drastically when her parents visited me in San Francisco. Returning to my classes, of course it's easier to pay attention to people in smaller classes. The drawback in smaller classes is that if you have a difficult person, that can hurt the class worse than if there is a big class. Because if it's a big class, people just don't pay attention as much to a difficult person. But the good thing, if there is no difficult person, or if the difficult person is being contained, then people in small classes really are aware of the needs of their neighbors and can do what needs to be done for them. Even in big classes, I divide them into small groups. So right now, I'm starting a class tomorrow, which is not big, and anyone who will join us will have a very good chance to get a good individual attention. It's not usual that my classes are not big. Normally they are. Just the last class that I did had 22 people. And this one will have most likely 10, and if you're going to be number 11, well, more power to you. You'll have a lot of attention. We teach in this class to improve your vision. We teach in this class to relax your joints and to improve the function of your back and your heart and circulation and your nervous system. And we teach in this class also to do specific body work that can regenerate bones, muscles, and nerves. It's a mini training. And anyone who wants my undivided attention will come to a very good situation. I'm looking forward to see the next person from the Bay Area that wants to have a beautiful and a cooler time.